Alright, so I'm at the job and she is home because of the virus thingy. She's teleworking, they call it, that's what they call it now. So here we go. This is a small house, but it's a two-story, so I still get the 130. So you got the sort of a dormer, huh? You guys taught me. Sort of a dormer. Okay, so simple house. You got this side here, which is really nice and clean. We'll be able to reach up there with no problem with the pink tip. It will be nice. Their cars are parked kind of close, but that's okay. I'll black tip this and I'll rinse the car to make sure we don't get spots on it. This is the bad side. So this is the side that's going to really make a difference. That's looking pretty yuck. But it's going to look really nice when we're done. It'll be like brand new. These houses are about 2 years old. Some of them are even less. So this house should go pretty quick. And then you got the back of the house here. Pretty much single story at this point. These houses are laid out kind of weird though. This one has the driveway in the backyard. Her driveway's in the front yard. So, and then you got this here. And you got this here. So what I will do is I'll just set you guys up on the side here where it's really yuck. I'll let you guys watch me wash the front and the yucky side. Sorry about the sun, I'll do what I can. I will only be using the black tip and the pink tip. So the pink tip, you see, big giant hole. Really no pressure, just a lot of volume. Sends the water up pretty high with your soap and bleach mix. So that makes it nice. And then the black tip. So I rinse with the black and pink tip and I apply soap with the black and the pink tip. I don't use any other tips. Somebody asked me in a comment about tips and if they have different purposes. He said, I know that they have colors, but what are the different purposes? So here's a couple right here. If you look at the very top, there's like a little square on the top of it. And that gives you a little digit. I can't really read this one. I don't know what it says. I can't read this one. Oh, this one says 40 right here at the very top. It says 40 in there. So that's 40 degrees. Okay. This one at the very top says something else. I don't know what. So that's the fan. The more the degrees, the more that it's spreading the water out. So the less pressure is hitting something, because the pump's only going to deliver a certain amount of pressure. If you pinhole that little pressure like the red tip, then that's going to be like jamming a needle at a brick, and you're going to start whittling away the brick, literally, because so much pressure is being pinpointed. As you go up in your 0 degrees up to like this one's 40 degrees, this one might be 50 or 45 or 60, I don't know what it is, I can't read it. Then that's the less pressure, makes it safer. So you have green, you have yellow, you have red. Obviously green's probably going to be your safer, yellow's use more caution, and red is danger. Red is your 0, not to be confused with pink. Pink is 0, but pink is not like you have to be scared, like some moron commented who knows everything, that he was all nervous because I was using the pink tip, which is a 0 degree tip on vinyl. It's like, no, dummy. The only thing you have to worry about is the 0 degree that's red, not this. This is not a lot of pressure. Now, when you first hit your handle, there's a lot of pressure built up in the wand. A lot of pressure comes out. That's why you might see I hold my wand away, I squeeze the trigger, and then I bring it to the vinyl. Then it's not a lot of pressure. It's like the stream setting or the jet setting on a garden hose hand sprayer. About the same thing. There's a lot of volume in this, not a lot of pressure. So don't worry about that. But yeah, your different tips are the different angle, and the sharper the angle, the smaller the number, the more dangerous it can be when you're hitting certain items, certain objects, vinyl or brick, or concrete, asphalt, painted wood. You can start chipping paint off if you're using the wrong tip or if you're standing too close. So that's the differences in tips. I don't ever use any of these tips except maybe the white tip on concrete when I'm doing like up by houses on the ground. Otherwise, I don't use tips. And I really only try to wash vinyl houses because I get in and I get out. I should have this house done in about, it's 9/11. We should be wrapping the hoses up no problem by 10 o'clock. I got 3 gallons of bleach, Pool Essentials 10% in a bucket with some Dawn soap. I have my siphon hose right here with the downstream chemical injector right here. And all I do is put it in, mix it up a little, and that'll just siphon on in with the black and the pink tip. And we're going to do the front of the house and the side, but we're going to first do the side, then we'll do the front. I do it, it's not a matter of using any type of pressure or volume for that matter to get on the vinyl. It's just get the vinyl wet, and the mix is going to do the job. Look how clean it is. So half the house is done, and all I got to do for this is really just rinse it off. But it's okay to let this stuff dry on it. It's not going to hurt. Just make sure you do a good rinse. Okay, I got the whole house covered. So what I'm going to do now is just go through and rinse. It's going to sit on here for a few minutes and it'll get that off. House washing is easy money. Okay, so 45 minutes, 130 bucks minus, I used 3 gallons, so minus $14 roughly. Ooh, a lot of police activity. So I used about $14 worth of material and the house is done. So 115 bucks in 45 minutes start to finish, including rolling up my hoses. I just got to knock on the door. That's a spotless house. Let me get my money and we out of here. So I have a screw in my mouth. Don't screw my mouth. So my customer paid me the 130 bucks, and then she asked me if I knew of any handyman. And I was like, well, what do you need? She's like, I need a ceiling fan hung. And I was like, I'm really good at that. She's like, oh, how much you want for it? I was like, hang a ceiling fan? I guess I'll do it for... Where's that guy going? Oh, he must know a different exit. Okay, I'll go that way. I was like, I don't know, just throw me a 20, you know? Like 150 bucks by lunch, no big deal. And she's like, I'll give you 40. I'm like, okay, 40. So I go in there and turn on the light, the overhead light that's in her bedroom. Climb up, you know, had to dig for a ladder that she had in her garage. Climbed up there, disconnected everything, killed the breaker, got everything hung, got everything good. The problem is she came from another house. And so the handyman that she used to have at her other house took all her ceiling fans down that she bought. She was renting. And so she didn't want to give the landlord her ceiling fans. So whoever took all her ceiling fans down mixed everything up. So one box for the ceiling fan was in her bedroom to be installed. It has 3 of the 4 globes that has to be used for the ceiling fan I installed, because those globes literally screw on, and then you put a little nut on, a lock nut on. So 3 of the 4 are there, and then the bolts to hang the blades of the fan are the wrong bolts. So these bolts to hang the blades go to a different engine, a different fan motor. So I'm gonna go to the hardware store here, and I'm pretty sure they sell fan blade bolts. I'm 90% sure they do. And she also needs bulbs. So she threw me an extra 20, and I'm just gonna pick it up for her. I'm like, it's no problem. She's 65 years old. And you never know what this could lead to for future jobs, you know. But she was like, I needed somebody that I can count on and stuff. So I was like, well, look, I drive trucks. This isn't, you know, I'm not a handyman, but I'm really handy. So, you know, if you need something done, let me know. And if we can work it out, then we'll work it out. If not, then I'll let you know that I can't handle that. She's like, well, I got 4 more ceiling fans that are going to need to be installed whenever you can do it. I'm like, well, when you dig them out of your garage, I can do it. Because she's got like 2 bedrooms all disassembled and put into her garage. And the mattresses and box springs and bed frames and everything is blocking all the small boxes. So she has to literally unload her garage into the driveway to get to the boxes. And I said, well, once you find those boxes, then, you know, I can continue on. I said, but in the meantime, you know, we'll put 3 of the 4 globes on, so your light will work. You just get your grandson or something to climb around in there and see what he can find. And if he can find a box, then, you know, maybe it'll have that globe in there and you guys can put it on. I don't know, a little weird. It's not something I do very often, but, you know, with the virus going around and lack of hours at work, if I can make 20, 40 bucks when I wasn't going to even do anything, then what the hell is better than sitting around the house doing nothing? I mean, now granted my boys are there and we're doing homework, but I should be working and making money driving a truck, so I can work and make money doing side hustle handyman work. And so that's what I'm doing. Alright, I'll let you know in the next video how this all turns out. Like I said, I just got to try to find a different thread pattern in this. This will start, but it won't screw in. So I got to see if they got a different thread pattern. Hopefully they do. I'm sure they do. I just got to find it. She said she got all her fans at Lowe's. So I'm going to go to Lowe's and see what I can find.